Now, maybe not in a personal sense if it has to do with your physical body or what you're doing with your own life, your experience of it. But when it comes to stuff like everything that we do as a society or what we as people do, being alive, there should be no one person or group of people or organization of any sort that has any say over the group of people on a whole more than any individual. Because putting yourself as a higher, more important, more meaningful, more necessary person over someone else is totally wrong in every way. Because everything that's alive is as equally alive and is equally allowed to have that experience. That gift is as equally bestowed onto all people and all things. So if it has to do with the whole, the society, the community, the civilization, each individual should have a say-so. But each individual should have a say-so by coming to a point of knowledge without being told what was right and wrong. And how do we do that? Well, we have words, and we have stories, and we have things to learn from. Now, what we need to do is stop looking at those things as examples to follow and use those as resources to analyze and reconstruct a better way. Like an underlining rule that should just be known. Whatever you don't want done to you, you don't do to another living thing. It should be a really simple thing, and people have heard that kind of saying, what if you don't want to do unto others as you'd have done to yourself? Well, everyone's heard that saying their whole life, but they don't do it. And others doesn't just mean other people. It means other things, other thoughts. Like, don't think negatively of things. And when you do, you work on correcting that. You work on yourself. Like, you don't go, oh, those effing things, those things are so stupid, and just let that go. You go, I'm going to work on thinking that way, because there's got to be a deeper reason that these things are happening, So there's always a deeper reason. So look farther than just ever the surface. Like, I don't see people as an outside person anymore at all. I don't just see a face, and yes, I do think, oh, beautiful, and usually, but when I see beautiful, I don't see just like the looks. I see the cleanliness level. Because if someone doesn't take care of themselves, and they're not taking care of things. Period. If they're not taking care of themselves, I mean, that's an obvious thing. If you can't be bothered to take care of your personal body or your personal welfare, then that person isn't someone that is beautiful to others if they can't be beautiful to themselves and treat themselves like the beautiful thing they are, if they just let themselves go. And people know what I mean when I say not take care of themselves. It's not just, you missed a shower here and there, you got a scrape or a bruise or a birthmark or, any kind of just natural thing. We're talking like people that just don't do anything and purposely are just slobby and those kind of things. And those people are beautiful beings too. They're just doing wrong to themselves, and they have the right to do that, yes, but I'd rather help them be truly happy. The idea that some people are happy because they pig out a lot or they get intoxicated all the time, or just the things that they do, or they're a sex fanatic or something like that. Those kind of things are fun rushes, but getting caught in those rushes is what happens to a lot of people, and they get so caught in them that their lives become made up of a multiple choice existence of a few different habits and hobbies. And it's sad to see people doing that, because their opinions on matters that seem more important, at least when it comes to a whole civilization, they don't have any. Or when it comes to our existence being alive, period, they don't have any thoughts about it. It just is. They're like, whatever. And I guess they can be that way, but eventually, it may not be this lifetime. When you start getting to talk about this lifetime or last lifetime or the next lifetime, that starts getting weird for people. But you know that you've been somewhere before you were here. You didn't just pop out of nowhere, and your magical spirit inside the body, whatever it looks like, was just created. No, it's always been here. And it's always been retrying and retrying and retrying until it can become communicative between itself, which is me, you, and every other thing, communicative between itself and itself, and become more harmonious and actually make a world of paradise, not a world of displeasure and war and hate and crime and disrespect and lies and deceit, deception. Like everyone's, like viruses, it's an idea. There was never such thing as a virus at the beginning. Where do you think the virus would have came from? It's a thought. Like, think of everything from a point, like, where would it have come from? Everything came from a thought, and everything came from an intention of some person towards another thing or another person. Because people think negatively when they don't have what they want. You got to stop thinking negatively if you don't get something that you really want to have. You got to be okay with not having something in physical form right in your hands because you want it. You got to get over that. The people you want to see, they may not be around all the time, but you got to learn how to be happy with or without that. And it's just the way it is. It's not just being tough or being responsible or learning how to be disciplined. It's just something that it's more beneficial to you to do it. Because if you don't do it, then you're going to live a life of stress and pain because you're stuck always being hurt or unhappy about the things that you don't physically have or the people that you want around right now because you don't have them right now. But just be happy with this right now moment. And all the things that you do have will be just as wonderful as those things you thought you wanted. So, yeah.